And here is the Writer's Almanac for Thursday, April the 30th, 2020. It was on this date, 1859, Charles Dickens's A Tale of Two Cities was first published. It came out in serial form in a new weekly magazine all the year round, which Dickens himself had founded. And A Tale of Two Cities was on the front page of the first issue. Thanks to his popularity, the first issue sold 125,000 copies. The magazine was successful from the start. Dickens's investment paid off, and he serialized Great Expectations in the magazine 1 year later. A Tale of Two Cities, which begins, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times, it was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness, it was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity, it was the season of light, it was the season of darkness, it was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. We had everything before us, we had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven, we were all going direct the other way. It's the birthday of Annie Dillard, born in Pittsburgh, 1945. She wrote her master's thesis on Thoreau's Walden. Then she moved to a cabin in the Blue Ridge Mountains and kept a daily journal of her observations of nature, her thoughts about religion, wrote in old notebooks and on 4x6-inch index cards. And her book, Pilgrim at Tinker Creek, published in 1974, won the Pulitzer Prize for nonfiction. She was only 29 years old. And it was on this date in 1952 Anne Frank's diary was first published in English, Diary of a Young Girl. It came out in Dutch, 1947, under the title The Secret Annex. Anne Frank died of typhus in the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp about 2 weeks before the camps were liberated in 1945. After the war, her father, Otto Frank, was given the diary. He wasn't able to read it for a while. It was too painful. But when he did, he saw that his daughter meant for the diary to be published. There were two versions of the diary, the A version, made up of journal entries, and the B version, rewritten by Anne herself. Her father edited the two together. He left out 5 pages of her original A version, pages in which she described the progress of her sexual development and ranted about her mother. Those pages were restored in the definitive edition, which was published in 1995. Here's a poem by Julie Denholm. It's terrible what's happening there. People say if it comes up, I'm Syrian, when my daughter mentions her sito, or I'm microwaving my kibbeh at work. And it is. But I don't need to tell you. You've heard the numbers of the dead. You've seen the mothers turned gray. I never know what to say because I'm Syrian American, and I know only as much as you of the city that bombs are skinning down to concrete and bone, where children are sleeping alone in the rubble, where Haddads and Imondis and Nouris are still living if they haven't fled or been killed. When my father's grandparents left Aleppo, they carried their stories like gold sewn inside clothes, but no one since has pulled hard at the stitches. So my horror is that of a woman who looks at the sky and expects only blue, a luxury my ancestors passed down to me. A poem by Julie Denholm, It's Terrible What's Happening There, from her collection Those Who Keep Arriving, published by Silverfish Review Books and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.